It's not fair. eBay's not fair. Why does eBay prefer someone else's store over my store, right? Theory? I'm not in physics class. Theory? What are you talking about? Just I want to make more money. Did taxes really suck last time you had to do taxes for reselling? We've been there. That's why we created the Flipped app. If you haven't yet, check out the links below. Flipped is an app that runs on both the Apple devices and Android devices, and it's only $9.99 per month. You get a free 7-day trial. Anyone gets a free 7-day trial. When you sign up, you can explore the app. You can also go through this video that I'm linking up here somewhere. That's the frequently asked questions video about it, so you can learn a bit more. It's a sales tracker and inventory management app designed by us resellers for you resellers. Doesn't matter what platform you're on, it works for every platform. You can customize it by the categories you sell in, the platform fees, etc., etc. Watch the FAQ video, and thanks for using Flipped. Welcome to episode number 2, theories and buzzwords. I understand. I didn't like theory either when I took physics courses and calculus courses and we started talking about these theories. I really wasn't a fan, but I think we need to establish a baseline to understand the fundamentals of what eBay is, what it isn't. Let's talk about these buzzwords people keep using to describe what eBay is, and just think about it from a different perspective. The first way that we're going to think about eBay is as eBay, the corporation. And you may think, well, why? Why would I do that? Because we need to understand what this thing is before we go into the levels of the actuality, the listing, the titles, the pricing, Terapeak, demand, supply, frequency, time of listing, day of listing, scheduled listings, shipping prices, return policies, etc., etc. Before we do all of those technical things, we need to understand what eBay really is. And to keep things really simple, eBay is a corporation, and a corporation is there to make money. So let's talk about how eBay makes money, which will kind of go into the theories of why they behave in certain ways and how they treat their sellers and why they show favoritism towards certain sellers and they don't really care about some other sellers. So that's something we need to fundamentally break down before we go again into those technicalities. So eBay makes money by collecting fees in part from their sellers when their sellers make transactions. eBay in theory then wants you to make transactions. In other words, they want you to make sales on their platform because they're not in the business of data storage, they're in the business of selling. A data collection company is basically someone that's going to have some sort of server, either physical or in the cloud, that's going to basically store all the code. And the code is your photos that you're uploading, your descriptions, your item specifics, your titles. That's the code that eBay stores for you. And that's in part of why you're paying them a fee, because they're storing that information. Now, they don't want to store that information because storing information costs a lot of money, especially when you're talking about these giant corporations. They are storing a ton of information, and that gets pricey. Real pricey. Instead, they would love for you to give them this data, this code, for them to temporarily store so that they can turn that into dollars. And the way they do that is they take that code that you input, however you list your items, and they take that information, they want to convert it into dollars. And they do that by completing a transaction between you, the seller, and them, the customer. And once that customer pays for that item, they take their fees, and their fees vary, and we'll talk about this a little bit later where we talk about the mathematics of selling on eBay. Now let's talk about why they suppress accounts or elevate certain accounts, and why they're judgmental towards you as the seller, and why they don't care about you if you don't do what they want you to do. Watch this entire video because soon I'm going to talk about this mythical word called algorithm. Sadly, eBay doesn't really care about its sellers because what they see is data, and the data dictates what they should be doing to increase their transaction rates to satisfy the customers who shop on eBay. That's what they value. They value the customer. Then they value the seller. Then they prioritize their sellers. And now some people may think, well, that's not really fair. I listed 100 items. Let's keep things simple. I listed 100 items and then I took a month off, didn't list anything, and then my sales stopped coming in. Why is that fair? That's not really fair at all. They're being biased towards other sellers. Well, let's use a couple of analogies to explain that phenomenon. Example number one, let's say you have 10 mechanics and 2 out of those 10 are really good. They go above and beyond. They're your top 2 mechanics. They do everything right. They don't complain. They bring you 0 headaches. There's no issues with them. They come in on time. They leave when the job is done. Those are your top 2. The rest are pretty average, and then let's say you have a couple of them that are not so great. Let's say 3 of them are below average. Now, when someone comes in to check out your tire shop, who are the 2 that you're going to promote to say we are the best tire shop in this entire area? Any guesses? The 2 best mechanics. You're going to promote them to the top and you're going to showcase them because those are your 2 best performers. Those are the 2 that are not giving you any headaches. Those are the 2 that do everything they're supposed to. Those are the 2 that are going to get favoritism in a world that depends on favoritism, especially in retail space, like e-commerce, like eBay. Let's use another hypothetical real quick. Let's say that you are a small retail store and you just moved into a small town and all of your shelves are brand new inventory and people are coming in. And then a couple months come by and you haven't added any new inventory. It's all the same stuff and some of it is getting kind of dusty and some of it is kind of stale. And then less and less people come in and now you see that it's mostly tourists, but the local folks, they're not really coming in anymore because, well, they came in last Wednesday and it was still the same stuff, and then they came in 2 weeks later and it was still the same stuff, and then they noticed that you're not doing anything else. You're just leaving it alone, and there's dust, and it's kind of like, I don't know about this place anymore. And then you're wondering as the shop owner, well, why aren't people shopping here? It's the exact same thing with eBay. eBay is going to prioritize the accounts that are the best accounts, the ones that have the best feedback, the ones that do the higher volume, the ones that do everything right. They don't give any headaches out. There's no constant nonsense issues with customers. eBay seller is having a bunch of open cases that are not being closed on time. They're not processing returns on time. They're not adding new stuff. They're leaving the old stuff to rot. They're costing eBay money because the transaction rate is decreasing, but the data is the same, and data costs money, just like we talked about before. And now the algorithm thing, this algorithm, let's talk about this magic buzzword, the algorithm of things, okay? And I really want to stop saying that word because it's annoying me. And I'm sure it's annoying you. I hope those 2 examples made a lot of sense because I think they're really good examples of really the reality of the theory of this algorithm thing that people keep talking about. It's just that eBay wants to promote the best sellers that are doing things the best ways possible, that are leading to the most amount of transactions possible so that eBay can make more money. So yeah, they don't care about how you feel, they care about your performance. That's why they give you performance metrics. They give you metrics that measure how you're doing compared to the standard they want you to be at. They even assign you a status, and the best status you can be on eBay is a top-rated seller, which means that you're doing what they want you to do so they can make money off of you because they're a corporation. So enough of this fantasy talk about what an algorithm is and how you can increase your algorithm and how you are better with it and yada yada yada. Just think about it from the perspective of eBay. They don't want to deal with you, the person who has 500 listings that are not moving, the person who's not revising their listings, the person who doesn't give out good customer support, the person that's overpricing everything 20% above market, the person that's not listing items that are in demand, the person that's listing CDs without covers that are not original CDs and expect people to buy them. There's real people out there that I've seen it. It's real. It's crazy, but it's real. So yes, eBay will suppress your listings. They'll suppress your store if you're not active in it, if you're not doing what you're supposed to. This is why most of the time you can actually see this in your own store if you've been selling for a while. I'm sure there's people out there that understand this and have seen this work, and this is why it's said that you can take as much time off of eBay as you want and you can get your metrics back typically within a week or 2 if you just list consistently and keep doing the right things. And we'll definitely cover what the right things things are and the technicalities of listing things and sell-through and demand, and all that stuff is upcoming. I'm charting out everything right now in the background and making a huge list so that I can walk you through all of it. But I really wanted to start with the introduction video that I already did, and now the theoretical video that I'm just about to wrap up, because I want you to understand these principles and these thoughts before we go into the nitty-gritty of, you know, how to actually source and how to price and so on and so forth. I hope I've earned your subscription by now with these videos and the other 275 videos that we've posted to this channel. If I haven't yet, I hope to do so in the near future. If you like this video, share it with your friends. And if this is the video you just found, go back to the previous ones. These are all 100% free eBay videos, basically a whole course on eBay for free. And I did figure out how to do the give me a tip thing if you want to. There's a link down below. It's from it's basically a crowdsourcing company. I don't know their actual name, but it's basically buy me a coffee or something like that. So you can go there, you can throw me $5 if you find value in these videos. If you can afford it, if you can't afford it, don't worry about it. You can actually support me and support this channel by watching the videos, sharing it, clicking the like button, and watching old videos too. A lot of the videos that we've made in the past, we cover a lot of this stuff, just not in this format. Like I've said before, I'm gonna try to keep these below 15 minutes. It's a good time for me to shut my mouth, work on the next one for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that I've opened your eyes a little bit about the eBay theory and what it all actually means. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.